So before I start, I'd just like to say that I haven't really been into Pokemon since the release of Black and White back in 2011. Now I know almost all of the Pokemon that has been released up to date, and I've still played just about every game released since then, but I never actually completed Pokemon X and Pokemon Sun. I barely got past the 4th gym leader in Pokemon Ultra Moon. I'm still currently playing through Let's Go Eevee's main game, and I gave up on Pokemon Sword just after the 2nd gym leader. After Legends Arceus was released not too long ago, I thought about picking it up, but just in case they end up releasing more content for it, I'm going to wait on purchasing it. That way I'll feel like I'm purchasing a complete game, unlike when I bought Sword before giving up. On February 27th of 2022, the Pokemon Company held their version of a Nintendo Direct known as Pokemon Presents. They announced a few things I didn't really care for, although Legends Arceus did get a small update released right after the presentation ended, adding just a little more content to the game, which means I really will be waiting to pick the game up. They also announced shiny hunting is now a thing in Pokemon Cafe. I'm sorry, who asks for this? Oh yeah, they also announced Gen 9 Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Going back to colors now, Game Freak? Good choice, although I will say I'm still waiting for Pokemon Sit Down and Pokemon Stand Up. First of all, it looks like Sword and Shield combined with Legends Arceus, which isn't really a bad thing, although I'm still a little worried about it. There were some frame rate issues, but the game is nowhere near finished, hopefully, so that should be much more polished in the final release. Second of all, the metallic effects, while a minor detail to me, look pretty nice, especially on Magnemite. He looks so good. And finally, the game looks like it's going to be heavily influenced on Spain, so I'm expecting to see a couple Pokemon based around Spanish culture when we get the full Pokédex for this game announced. And speaking of Pokemon, these starters actually look really interesting. Now, I'm not saying that the other Pokemon starters after Gen 4 didn't interest me, but these three just look so clean compared to this. So, yep, these are Gen 9 starters. Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. Now that I've gotten to these three, it's time to stop talking about Pokemon games in general and start talking about rare Pokemon color variations, also known as Shinies. For those of you who do not know, a shiny Pokemon is a pretty rare occurrence. It's like a different variation of a Pokemon that has a different color palette, usually, and gives off a neat shine effect whenever one is sent into battle. That's pretty much it. But to the Pokemon community, these shinies mean way more than just, ooh, pink Wobbuffet! It means replay value. Shiny hunting is a huge part of almost any major Pokemon fan's life. Walking in tall grass or hatching eggs over and over again to get the same Pokemon repeatedly in hopes of getting a rare Pokemon that you can rub in the face of others. Me. Going back to the starters, I really like these designs, like so much that I wanted to give a shot at creating my own shinies for these three. A few that I'd personally like to see, and then one that I made for each of the Pokemon in the spirit of modern day Game Freak. You call these shinies, Game Freak? No. See this? This is what I consider a shiny, not this. Why do I find this one a shiny, and not this one? Simple. It's not a pink-haired mongoose. To start off, I will be showing my predictions for the grass cat Pokemon Sprigatito. Sprigatito? The grass cat. I'll start off with my own first, starting with this nice and vibrant minty shiny. Normally, Game Freak gives their grass shinies a more green tint or a more yellow tint. To make it more than just a greener tinted variant, however, I gave them amber eyes, which I thought fit very well with the mint fur. I love this. If this was the official shiny, I'd easily try my luck at hunting for it. Sure, it would take a lot of resets, but I think it'd be worth it for me. Next, a more yellow tinted variant. Not much to say here, it's alright. Moving on is a brown tinted variant. I feel that a lot of the grass-type Pokemon don't get brown shinies. Actually, now that I think of it, I can't really think of any brown shinies off the top of my head. Except for this one. I also like how this one turned out. Would I hunt for it? Maybe. The next shiny is based on another Game Freak trick that I like to call color swapping, taking the two main colors of a Pokemon and swapping them. Ta-da! Shiny! And with Sprigatito, it looks pretty decent. Finally, what I feel Game Freak will actually do. This. Blue eyes and a blue nose. That's it. Still looks nice, I guess. A bit disappointing if it were real, but the eyes on that shade of green does look nice at least. Moving on to the big boy of the group, the Fire Croc Pokemon, Fuecoco. This little guy is so chubby, and I actually find him pretty harmless looking for a Fire-type starter. To start, I have this nice white variant. I really like white shinies, and I felt Fuecoco would look nice in white. Was I right? Well, I think so. Changing his pale face to a more of a dark bleach also adds to the white in my opinion. However, this isn't my favorite shiny of his that I whipped up. That award goes to this guy. This is perfect. Not a super drastic change in the main body color, but just enough so it's noticeable, and then changing the fire to a nice shade of red, which really makes him stand out. A true shiny masterpiece. And that goes for most fire shinies that change their fire color. I also have this green shiny design that also has its flames color changed, this time to a more magenta, but this wasn't the original version of this prediction. Why? Because it used to be my Game Freak guess, which is this. Just the green body color change. Still looks good, better than a lot of modern shinies to me, but still very underwhelming for a fire type. Lastly, I get to the one starter that I feel everyone is going to pick. Quaxly. And I mean, can you really blame them for not choosing the other two? Look at that hair! So stylish! Unless it's a hat, which still looks great on them. For Quaxly, the shinies I made aren't super amazing, but he does have my personal favorite shiny concept between the three of these starters. And that's this, the Swan Palette. I feel that this is the perfect shiny for Quaxly, giving the body clean white feathers and changing the hair hat to black, with the addition of an orange bill as well as orange feet. Now they're really styling. Then I have an aqua green and darker blue concepts. I just changed the light blue, nothing else. Then I have this pink and red hued Quaxly, which looks pretty good. I might hunt for this one, but I'm still betting on that Swan Palette. And my Game Freak guess, yellow. No, not like that. There we go, much less tolerable. To me, this just looks kind of dirty. The yellow feathers and the light blue makes it seem like Quaxly hasn't bathed in a while. There's at least a noticeable difference, sure, but in my opinion, if this were the real shiny, I'd rather they just make Quaxly's eyes brown. Thank you all for watching this shiny concept video. I feel I spent a long time talking about other things than just the speculated shinies. I didn't really focus on the shinies a whole lot in this video, but I'm not used to doing this kind of stuff other than, the plushes. But in my next shiny speculation video, since I assume you'll all have watched this one first, I won't need to go too in-depth on what a shiny really is. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, press that like button, leave a comment for me down below, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.